Welcome to Retro Asylum. I'm Matt. How you doing? Down here is a little something that popped through the post today on the day of release, no less. That is the A500 Mini, known to the Amiga community as the Amiga A500, but because of stupid licensing, it cannot be called the Amiga, or at least that's what I presume. Anyway, I wanted to do not so much an unboxing video, but more of, let's see what it's like. You can watch unboxing videos on YouTube. You can go and watch the gameplay videos on YouTube, but I'm about giving it a bit of an opinion on how this thing feels when you get it out of the box, how this thing is likely to perform, and we'll follow this up with another video in a few weeks' time on how and what I think of this device. But man, 31 years ago, I got one of them for Christmas. 1991, and I want to kind of try and capture some of that excitement again when I'm opening it down there. So I'm going to open it on video, but I'm not going to do any talking. It's going to be a time-lapse video because I want to enjoy the moment. I want to feel that excitement that I had 31 years ago to some degree. Yeah, I can emulate the Amiga. I can play the Amiga on the Mister. I have a Mister. I can play the real Amiga because I've got some Amigas upstairs in the loft and on top of my wardrobe where my retro collection is. But this is a point of convenience, let's say, because the Mister, you would argue, is, well, Matt, why not just use the Mister? Well, I'll give you a damn good reason why I won't use the Mister. Save states. For me, it's a big deal because I snatch moments here and there to play games. So to not have save states is just a bit of a deal breaker for me. While the Mister is probably the best way to play Amiga games, and this thing there is purely emulation. Yeah, cuss down below here. Give us your thoughts on Mister versus emulation. But you know what? It's about a vibe. It's about an emotion. It's about something that's deep within me. There's very few things in my life that have defined the path of my life like that machine did when I got it in 1991, be it musically, be it from a computing point of view, or just culturally. I debated whether I should have this thing. I debated whether I wanted it. I absolutely don't need it. But then again, when do we buy stuff that we always need? It comes down to three things. There's a few other things in there, and there's one sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek one. Number one, I had an Argos voucher for 50 quid. There's your tongue-in-cheek one, right? Number two, and arguably the most important thing for me is I'm an Amiga fanboy. If you've watched the show before, you know I'm an Amiga fanboy. This is Amiga history, and while this is not a true Amiga in the truest sense of the word, to get this from Argos in 2022 as a new product is nothing short of amazing. Number three, back to that save states thing again. You know, the whole premise of me gaming these days, I need to be able to save my games, otherwise I get too frustrated. I'm not a good games player and I get very little time to do it. So I need those things. I need those conveniences. And watching some of the early reviews on YouTube, Retro Recipes, Dan Wood, shout to both of you too, and some of the others, it looked like it worked very nicely. Lag is a big thing that will annoy me if it's perceivable. I'm not going to worry too much about the joypad because I can plug my zip stick into it because I have an adapter which I know will work. Well, I hope will work. I'm pretty sure it will work because it works on the C64 Mini, so it's bound to work. But for me, this is about having an Amiga that I can switch on and I can play save games really conveniently, and I think it's going to look really nice. I have not opened that yet. I've merely sliced the plastic tab open very carefully because I want to keep this thing pristine. Because it's got a feeling, it's got a vibe for me that I want to recapture when I'm opening it now. So if you see me stop and pause on the time-lapse video for a little bit, I'm just capturing that vibe for a moment. So welcome aboard. Watch this video. Comment below when you've seen it open. I'll be back on the flip side. Let's flip the camera. Alrighty, let's take a look closer up on this one. So we'll come to that at the end. Joypad. Feels pretty good, far cry from the CD32 version. I like the CD32 joypad in terms of its looks. I know I'm quite a rare person on this earth that does like it. I think me and Mad's about the only two people in the world that like it. I like they've replicated it to some degree. Shoulder pads, a bit clicky. Buttons feel nice. They feel, you know, every bit as good as a SNES pad to me. And a reasonable D-pad. Again, far cry from the original. Amiga Tank mouse. So I think it's smaller than the original. Certainly what I've seen online, it looks smaller. Never the most ergonomic mouse in the world, but it's an Amiga mouse. Fantastic. Yes, like the look of that, and it's optical. It'll be interesting to see how that works, because if you've ever used emulation a lot, for me, I find that the mouse just doesn't move quite as you'd expect it to in some cases. I don't know whether it's the high DPI of modern mouses or just the way the emulation is translating. I even find that on the Mister as well. Certainly my mices, rodents, mouses, whatever you want to call it, the ones I've used have indeed felt a bit funny on the Mister as well. So it'd be interesting to see when I get Workbench on there, or in games, you know, games that use mouse, Worms for instance, what that feels like. HDMI cable. I think it's a USB extender by the looks of it. I love that they've matched the colour all through. Some of the early prototypes had black cables, I think it was. That was disappointing, so it's been lovely that they've done that. Now, from a distance, I won't sing it. What a beauty. What a beauty. No, the keyboard doesn't work before you ask. It's not meant to work, it's meant to be a replica. So up here we got the logo, the A500 logo. Again, like I said in the start, due to some stupid licensing shenanigans, I suspect the Amiga name is owned by some out there who will not release the name. So we don't have a Commodore logo, probably for a very similar reason. We have, I think it's the Retro Games logo. But, you know, a replica of the A500, a replica of the Amiga font there. Obviously a non-working floppy drive, but it all looks great. It all looks really, really tidy. We've got 3 USB ports in the back, which is definitely improvement on the C64 Mini, which had 2. So when you chuck USB stick in, you couldn't use 2 joy sticks in there, which was a pain in the bottom. HDMI, the USB cable, which I haven't seen in the box, if I'm brutally honest. So I don't know whether I've missed that, but it ain't no power. Let's have a look. Just have a quick look around. No, can't see a power for that. So that's interesting. I guess they're presuming we've all got one these days. And then a quick start guide over here, which is exactly as it said. So I'm looking forward to getting this on, having a little play with the built-in games, and over the course of this weekend, I will certainly put more games onto it with WHD load. Apparently it's quite easy. I've seen a couple of videos on it. So until next time, until a few weeks time, stay tuned. We will get into this and see what it like, see what it compares to the original hardware, Mister, emulation. Very briefly, again, I'm not going to be doing too much in-depth business here, but it's all about a feeling, a vibe, and emotion. That's what I want to try and take from this. What does it feel like? I think it's going to be good. So, until next time, see you later.